everyone, and you're welcome to jibbyfemforte tutorial. I'm Odurole Mojibola. Today I'm so excited about today's class because I'm going to be showing us how to cut this back pattern as well as how to fix this zip conveniently. Yes, now don't forget that when it comes to back zip, it depends on the style. Your style will determine what length you are going to work with, but I'm going to be working with this kind of an ankle strap back piece, and basically just for us to see how to fix this back zipper. If you are new in my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so that each time I upload a video you will be notified. Sit back and I'll be right back. Now the first thing we are going to be doing is we are going to try to fold our paper pattern. If you don't want to waste much, you can just fold this way, because I need about 5 centimeter width and 2.5 centimeter width. Now I'm going to work with a length of 13 centimeter. Don't forget we are creating a back pattern for a zipper back pattern. Now I have 13, so I'm going to measure 2.5 here, and I'm going to measure 5 centimeter on this particular side. Now as you can see, I have my 5 at this point and I have my 2.5 at this point, so I'm meant to join it together. But before I join it together, I want it to have a shape. I don't want it to just be straight. I don't want it to just be an A shape. If you want yours to just be an A shape, you can make it look this way, and then you are going to just have to bring this down this way. Can bring this down this way. Now as you can see, what we have here, we are already having a back pattern, but I don't want it to look like this. I want it to have a shape, so I'm going to try to carry this way and pick up my sole and use it to create a shape. Just look at what I'm going to have if I use this particular shape. You can see I'm going to have a unique look. Now you find out that it's still a bit not curved as what I have, but I just want it to have a curved shape on this particular side. Now I want to believe it's no more straight, it's a bit curved. So that is the first thing we are going to do. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to open this particular part where we are going to insert our zip. Now this particularly depends on you, but on the average I would suggest that we use a length of about 9 centimeter or 8.5 centimeter for our zipper, so that it will be easy for the person to open and insert their leg, since it's going to be an ankle sandal. Even if it's not going to be an ankle sandal, it's important that they have enough allowance for them to put their leg into it at the back. So I'm going to measure 9.5 centimeter at this point. 8.5, I mean, not 9. You can use 8.5 or 9 centimeter. So I'm going to be using 8.5. Now after that, I'm just going to open that side up like 0.5 centimeter to 0.4 centimeter. I just want to create it here. Now I'm using a 0.4 because I don't want it to be too wide. I marked it up here and up here so that I can join the line together. Now as you can see, I'm going to join it this way. So that is where we are going to insert our zip, and this is going to be the side. Now the next thing is, before we insert our zip, we are going to be having a stitch here. Now I said this side we are going to stitch it down as if we are creating a dart. Those who understand how to sew will know what I mean by creating a dart. So I'm just going to open it up as well for like 0.5 centimeter. I'm just going to mark 0.5 centimeter at this point. Then I'm going to stitch it this way, like I'm stitching an A very close to this particular point where I opened. Now I'm going to bring it down to this side. So this side, we are going to stitch it. That is what that dotted line means. So it means we are going to stitch this side, and I'm going to open up the side. Now let me start with this particular side. Don't forget that it's a curve we need to create here. And on this side, you can decide to make it curve, get a curve shape to create a curve here, or just use your end to create a curve on that side. Now, as you can see what we have, now I'm going to, before I open this particular side, it's important that after you have created your pattern this way, you first of all stitch this side before you open this side up. But for us to see exactly what I'm trying to create, let me open it up for us to see. So this is what I'm going to have. Now this is what I'm going to have. It means that my zip is going to, I'm going to place my zip this way on top of this pattern. Can you see what I have? This is what I'm going to do. And don't forget, I said we are stitching this side. So now I'm going to quickly show us how the leather looks like. Now, this is what my leather looks like. Let's assume I'm using this particular leather. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to note where the center is. I'm going to create a notch here, as you can see what I have. So I'm going to place my pattern on it so that I'll be able to know where exactly to stop my stitch. Don't forget, I said I'm going to create a dart. So it means it has to stop here. So when I want to stitch, I'm just going to place it this way together, and I'm going to stitch it down this way. So let me quickly do that for us to see. I will suggest that you also open this place up so that you will be able to know where to stitch. So you can see that it's almost cutting off, but that notwithstanding, you can still use it for what you want to use it for. So you have it going this way, you have it going this way. This is just for us to get what we need to stitch. So as you can see, I have one this way, I have another one this way. So I'm just going to close it up here, then stitch it like that. So it means I'm stitching it down this way. Let me stitch for us to see. Now you can see I'm starting from the lower part. I'm not starting from that point where I'm going to stop, so that it will be easy for me to create the dart. So just fix it in this way, then begin to stitch. You can decide to stitch backwards so that you have a very tight stitch. Then now see what I'm going to do. You will find out that I'm trying as much as possible to make it look like A. You can see that. So when you want to finish it, ensure that you stitch it backwards so that you will have a very close stitch there. Don't forget, I'm still coming to this particular side. So let me quickly now you can see. So this is what we have. I'm just going to try to open it up here so that it won't form any kind of bulk. See, this side is not well stitched. That's one of the reasons why we have to pay attention to every part of it. So it means I have to still go back and stitch that particular side. Now you can see what we have after stitching it. So you can just decide to put gum on this side just for this side to lay down properly. You have to open it up so that it will lay flat on the leather and it will be looking perfectly okay here. Now let me quickly show us the next thing is we are going to now place our pattern on our design again. Then we are going to use it to create where our zip is going to, we are going to insert our zip. So I'm just going to draw that house for us to see. We are learning how to fix our zip at our back pattern. That's what we are learning. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. Now you can see what I have. I've opened it up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place, since my zip is going to be inside, I'm going to just place this way. I try to still maintain my iron that is here. You know, it normally has an iron here, so I want to still maintain and keep the iron so that I don't have issues with my zip removing anyhow. So we are just going to place this here this way, and I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to apply gum and use it to hold it down so that I can easily stitch it down. Now I have applied gum. I didn't apply gum on my zip because I don't want it to just smear anyhow. So I'm just going to try to arrange it on it gently so that I can achieve what I want. Ensure you maintain them at the same point so that you see now it's easier for me to remove it just because I did not put gum on the two sides. So just try to fix it well. It will stay very well. By the time you fix it well, it will stay. I don't want to ensure that the center still remains at the right point. And that is very important. Your center should still remain at the right point. So you can see what I have now. So I just want to use that to hold my zip down. That's all I want to use it to do, just to hold my zip down. So after this, we are going to place it on the lining. So I have my lining here. I'm also going to open my lining up the same way I opened the main leather. I'm also going to open the lining as well. So let me quickly open the lining and get back to us. Don't forget that the same way we stitch this outer pattern, the main leather, is the same way we are going to stitch the back pattern still. So I have done that, so I'm just going to place it on it this way. Just going to place it on it, then stitch it down just like I did, just like I placed the zip. Now before I place the lining, I'm going to try to hold down my zip. This one that is flying, I want it to come back this way. I want it to slip down this way, and I want this to slip down this way as well. So let me quickly do that. So I'm just going to apply some gum here and do the same thing here as well. So I would like to come back like this. I would like to come down like this without affecting anything down there. I want it to be looking very neat and okay. So it seems my gum is not holding down my zip properly. This is important that it's holding it down properly. So you can just apply a gum if you see that it's not holding it properly. Now since that one is already hidden, so I'm just going to place my back pattern on it. Now sometimes I'm sure we might have seen some of this back pattern with zipper that has a flap. This is what I mean by a flap. You see something like this inserted at the back. I'm sure you must have seen something like this. Now it's just to cover up this side so that when you are wearing your sandal you don't experience any form of pain. So it's part of what we are going to make use of. Now when you want to create your flap, ensure that by the time you place your flap, it is about 0.5 centimeter away from this particular place where you end your cutting. It will be easy for the zip to move through, so don't let it reach this side. Let it be about 0.5 or 1 centimeter away, just like this is. You can allow it to be this distance, you can allow it to just be a little bit. So I'm going to place this into this like this, which means I have to first of all gum this down. Now this one that I have here, I use just a width of about 1.5 centimeters. So you can decide to use whatever, but 1.5 centimeter is perfectly okay for the flap, and have already cut that out. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put it into it and hold it down first so that it will be easy for me to stitch. That is the essence of holding them down. Now you can see I've fixed it. For your right leg, this is where your flap will be, and for your left leg, it means it will be on this particular side. So for this one now, this particular zip is for the right leg. So this is what you are going to be having by the time we finally place it. I'm still going to use my gum to hold it down before I finally stitch. It makes stitching very easy and convenient as far as I am concerned. So the only thing I want to do now is just to still hold it down just like I held the other one, then go ahead and stitch it. Now I would like to let us know that we don't need our zip to be excessive. You can just, after this particular point, you can just leave about 1 centimeter extension, then cut off the remaining part so that it will be easy for you to lace it at the back of your insole. When you want to lace it, it will be very easy for you. And another thing I want to call our attention to is, if you look at this particular zip, you'll find out that it's one of those zip that we use for our clothes. Please avoid using this kind of zip because they worn out easily. So when you want to buy your zip, buy a zip that has this kind. You can see that it's bigger, it's much more bigger, and it can withstand the stress of opening and closing at every point in time. So make sure that when you're buying yours, buy the one that is big like this. Now since we have this, let me quickly go ahead and gum it down. Now you can see what we have. Ensure that you open it to be sure that it can open easily without any obstruction before you finally go ahead and stitch it down. So this is what you are going to be having inside, and this is what you are going to be having outside. So the stitching process is just going to go, you can go this way. If there is still a particular strap that is here, you insert them. But basically I just want us to see how we fix our back zip for any of our ankle sandal or any kind of sandal that has a back zip. So we are just going to stitch this down and stitch this down, and our back zip is ready. All this excess from our lining, we are going to trim them off, and we are going to have a perfect back pattern. I want to believe you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you are new, ensure that you subscribe to my channel. Please share this video, let others enjoy it just as you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.